Today I'm going to show you how to replace the front brakes on a 2001 Ford F250 Super Duty 4x4. When selecting your brakes, your brake job, you can go two ways. You can either buy a loaded caliper like this, which is a reconditioned caliper. It's got the brake pads, everything installed. Or if you want to save a little bit of money, you can reuse your calipers and just buy the pads themselves. For this one, I'm going to replace the whole thing. So these are actually quite simple, and it's pretty much the same thing across the board for all trucks. We've got two big bolts here. We'll remove these, one top and one bottom. The two bolts that we just removed are right here, bottom and top. These simply hold the bracket for the front caliper assembly. So now this bit here is important. Before you take this caliper loose, get yourself some baling wire or some sort of a heavy-duty wire and hook it to the frame here. The reason being is we've got some really delicate lines here. We've got ABS lines, we've got our brake lines, and we don't want to rest the caliper on that. So I'll use this baling wire here to hold that in position until I can get the line unhooked and the new caliper installed. The next thing is you're going to remove the brake rotor. This may be stuck on there from dirt and road grime, and you can use a shot-filled hammer mallet to hit this. This is really hard, so don't hit on this with a steel hammer. You could crack or break it. But just work it around from the back side, the top side, give it a few whacks, and usually it'll just come right off. So just a quick word on brake rotors. If you feel a pulsating in the pedal when you push the brakes, that means that your rotors are warped, and what causes that is excessive heat. If you pull a lot of trailers or a lot of loads or live in places that have a lot of hills, these will heat and warp the rotors. You can take these down to Napa or your local parts store, and they have a brake drum lathe, and they can turn these and they can re-true them up. I had that done, and it was about, I think, $12 per rotor. So that's a good option. If they get too thin, they won't be able to do it, but they'll be able to use the gauges and check that. The other option would be to replace that, and that's definitely a more expensive option, but if you feel that pulsating, that's why. Now we're ready to install the new caliper, but now that we have everything off, it's a really good time just to check a couple things really quickly. First is going to be the ball joints. This is the upper and lower ball joints here, and you can usually test those and back and forth to see if there's any play in there. I know there's not because I've just recently replaced these. Also, you can turn back and forth to see if there's any play in your linkages or the joints there on your tie rod assembly. And if everything is solid and you don't feel any clunks, then you're probably pretty good. And I would go ahead and just real quickly pull out this hub assembly. If you have a Ford, which has a really slick system here, remove that snap ring right there. We can remove the hub assembly, and we can repack that and grease it and just check it out and check the seals. What a hub assembly is, you can see right here, the older four-wheel drive trucks, and it is an option on some of the newer ones, have a manual hub. And what this hub does is it freewheels the front four-wheel drive system, the axle, so that when you're going down the road, you're not driving these axles. It just makes it gives you better mileage and causes the engine to work harder. So what that does, or how that works, is to lock, turn these to lock, you're turning the whole axle. It's a big heavy load I can feel there. When I do freewheel, it pops that out and it simply freewheels. So I've got the hub all repacked with good waterproof grease, everything cleaned out, the O-ring replaced, and we can reinstall this here. It's really simple, just tap it in, seat that O-ring, and then we've got a retainer clip here that will hold the whole thing together. Simple Simon. The brake rotor is going to want to tip on you and be out of alignment. So take one of your lug nuts on the bottom lug there and just spin it in and hold that into position. Make sure that it's seated in its correct position. Now use your leg on this to support this because this is really heavy and it's hard on your back. So just put that on there and just carefully lay that in there and support that with your knee. It's really nice and easy. It's not hard on your body. Get that first one started there. And then grab our lower bolt. And we'll do the same for that. Now go ahead and tighten up the two bolts, and of course using your torque wrench to manufacturer specifications, torque to correct settings, or like me, a big hammer and a big wrench. Give everything a spin, make sure that it's all working properly and not hanging up or dragging. Now with the 9/16 wrench here, we're going to remove the brake line block off the top of the old caliper. And it is going to leak a little bit, don't worry about that. Also, there's 2 copper washers in there, one above and below the block. Your brake caliper will come with replacement bag with those, so don't overlook those. You want to replace those with the new ones. Those copper washers are what seal the brass fitting, the block, to the cast iron brake caliper. It is very, very, very important not to introduce any dirt or contaminants into your braking system. Why? Well, it's your braking system. Brake fluid, the reason why brake fluid is used is it has a very high boiling temperature. Brakes get hot, they generate heat. And if you were just to have a system, for example, that had water in it, water boils at a much lower temperature than brake fluid. So brake fluid has specifically and specially been designed to work very well in a high heat environment. So you're going to need a friend to help you with this. So the next thing we're going to do is bleed the brakes. And so we'll have someone push the brake pedal down, hold it. I'll open this and bleed all the air out. Go ahead and go down, Russell.
Push down on the brake?
Yep.
Turn to the floor.
Up. And we'll keep doing this until we don't get any bubbles or air out of the system. And the very last step is to top your master cylinder off with brake fluid. If you look on the side of the master cylinder, you'll see a fill line. Replacing the brakes on your car is just something that all of you should be able to do. With YouTube and all the information that's out there, you can actually go and watch full videos of how to do it. And I always try to get in the habit of just doing one side at a time. So if you aren't sure exactly how it goes back together or with what sequence, you can always look at the other side. But don't be afraid to do this. It can save you a lot of money, and I would even argue that sometimes you even get a better job because you've got a dog in the fight when you're doing your own brakes. The reason why I make these car care videos is there are so few good ones that get to the point and deliver the information in a way that a guy can access it and get the job done. Also, over here to the right, to the left, whatever, right over there, is a video, a complete detailed video on how to replace upper and lower ball joints on your Ford F-Series pickup. Because if you're doing brakes for the second or third time, chances are you're going to be needing to do ball joints as well. So you can follow that and do it yourself. No reason why to pay someone $1,500, $2,000 to do it when you can do the job yourself for under $300. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video. Oh, click the thumbs up.